analysis, behavior, courage, death, expound, friend, Goliath, help, inertia, juncture, kindness, love, mature, nature, oppose, psychology, relation, society, theory, universe, victory, wisdom, xylophone, y'all, zigzag. This is the Cameron Avant Show. Oh man, bad day today. Oh man. I don't know why I was just so angry today. I've been wanting to get up early to go to work and, get in there early so I can get out early, do my time and, go in and get on out of there. But I don't know today. Well, actually the day went fast. The day at work went fast, but it was just around, like, the last few hours that I was there, I was just, just like, ugh, I just want to punch a wall, I just want to really just tear this place apart. Like, it was nothing anyone did, it was just me, it was just inside of me. I was just, and it lasted, from the time I left, when I walked out of the door from the office, I just felt like throwing the door open and kicking my foot right through the wall. And then just punching the wall and just breaking up all the drywall and just tearing the place apart. Oh, I don't know. But at least the day went fast, so that was good. I listened to the other podcast that I put up on my website, and the volume was really low. It sounded good in my headphones here when I was recording it, but it sounded low, so now I increased the volume for this podcast. So hopefully this is a lot better. And so I'll have to pull down the other ones, increase the volume, and then put them back up. But I might just leave them there now. But I'll probably fix them just in case somebody goes to the site. No one really knows about the site yet, but just in case anybody goes there for some reason, at least it'll be something there. But yeah, I gotta. And I don't have anger problem. Like, I don't get upset with people. Well, sometimes I do, but not really. I'm really a nice person. Even when I was angry, I still say hello to the bus driver. When that's my new thing recently, is speaking to the bus driver when I get on. When I get on in the morning, I say good morning. When I get on, in the afternoon after work, I say hello. Hey, how you doing? And I can't tell sometimes if they say hello back or if they don't say hello. I'm not really sure. Most people say, oh, hey, good morning, how are you? And then some are just, I don't know, because sometimes I have one earphone in, so maybe they do say hello, or I don't know. But, it's on the person to say hello. It's not on you don't say hello to get a hello back. You don't say good morning to get a good morning back. It should be you're wishing that person a good morning. You're wishing that person hello. You're greeting that person. It's like giving a gift. If you give someone a gift, you don't, it doesn't mean you have to get a gift back. So, so you say hello, and if you get something back, you get something back. If not, then you don't. I mean, that's just how it is. But, so even when I'm upset, I'll say hello, or, how you doing, or whatever, and, it seems like you treat strangers better sometimes than your friends or family. Because I'm pretty sure if someone I knew close would say, hey, how you doing, I probably would have just maybe giving him the cold shoulder because I was upset internally, But I guess because you don't want to upset a stranger and mess their day up, but you don't mind messing up a family members or a friend's day, I guess. That's how it goes. I don't know. But, yes, I get on the train to come home, and I'm just looking at the city, because usually I sit a different direction. This time I sat on the side where you could kind of see down, right in the L. You could see down onto where the stores are. Usually I sit on the other side where you can't see anything, because that's the side where the other train comes in the other direction. So there's tracks right there. But this time I sit on the side that's right, near the street. I was looking at the trash and the people, and I'm just like, oh man, there's just so many people in the city, and just so much, just dirt and grime and graffiti. It's like, man, it just made me kind of upset too. Like, oh, what am I doing in the city? What am I doing here? What am I doing with life? It's interesting because right when a few months ago I started eating healthy and doing all this walking and everything, and it felt great. And it lasted for about a month. And then after that, I was one of these people walking around skipping and whistling and all this crazy stuff, which I guess is normal. I felt good. I felt normal. I felt, just like a regular person, Couldn't wait to go to sleep and get up the next day. And now it's just like, oh, I have to go to sleep already. My alarm goes off. I just cut it off and just lay there for another few hours, And then slowly get up and take myself to work. But, I heard on a radio show today a guy mentioned that he lost a lot of weight, because I said before I'm 410 pounds, and I've been struggling with this weight for a long time. A guy on a radio show I was listening to said that he lost a lot of weight by doing this foodaddicts.org. It's kind of a AA. It kind of uses their AA steps, the 12 steps, but this is FA for food addicts. Food Addicts in Recovery, something. Food Addicts in Recovery Support. No, Food Addicts in Recovery Program. And the website is foodaddicts.org. So I heard that today. I came home and looked it up on the website, and looks interesting. And there's meetings every day this week, and a meeting on a Saturday. So I may have to go to that and try to get my act together. Because I said on the other podcast, I don't know if it was the first one or the second podcast I did, that this food is killing me, mentally and physically. It's always been a problem in my life. So either fight or flight, Am I going to stick here and fight it out, or am I going to, act like nothing's wrong and continue to be miserable? One little short goal I have today is just to not eat anything today, because I had enough to eat. For lunch today, I had 2 wraps. I had some chips. I had a couple little wingdings and some rice, and all that for lunch. I'm like, that's enough. One thing I didn't do today is didn't stop and get breakfast, probably because I was running late, but, I didn't stop and get breakfast, so I waited till lunchtime and got that big lunch, so, but that's enough, and I need to go wake up tomorrow, go get me some oatmeal, like I used to keep a thing of oatmeal at my desk and heat it up, in the microwave, put some water in there, heat it up. You buy some cranberries or whatever, some dried craisins, throw those in there, and you eat your breakfast, and then you eat a normal lunch. But I can do that for a little while, but boy, is it a struggle. I mean, every second I think about eating. And then some days, sometimes it doesn't get like that, but 90%, 99% of the time, it is about that. And then you have your 1% where it's not about that. But, so I think I'm going to have to check out one of those meetings. One of those food addicts meetings. I was just thinking like, wow, it's gotten that bad where I need to go to a meeting now. Like, my gosh. But what are you going? I mean, you got to do something. I have to do something. Life is only a certain amount of time. Life doesn't last forever. You can shorten your life, or something else, or someone else can shorten your life for you. If you're born with a disease, that shortens your life. If you're hit by a car and die, that can shorten your life. But my problem is that I'm shortening my own life. I'm the one doing the things to myself, and that's the worst, because you should be able to be the one that protects your body the most. I should be the one that cares the most about my body and about my well-being. But so we'll see if I go to one of those meetings. We will see. See how it goes. And you gotta get a sponsor and stuff. I mean, it's crazy. It's like, it's food. It's food. On the website, it was like they don't call it sober, but abstinence is is weighing your food. These are the things for abstinence. You weigh your food, and no more flour, no more sugar. And I'm okay with the sugar. I'm not a sugar person. Flour, nah, I can be a bread person sometimes, but mainly me is just eating, just anything. The good thing about me not having a car, since my car broke down, I've been taking the bus and everything to work. The good thing, I haven't been going to the drive-thrus for food, because I used to have so much stuff in my car from drive-thrus. I mean, it was ridiculous. I mean, I would stop. I would go from. All right, I'll tell you a couple of stories. So, say if I get off of work, I'll get off of work, and my objective when I get off of work is to eat. Okay, I'm off work. What am I going to eat? Where am I going to get something to eat? And when I get home, what am I going to watch? Now, this is in the past where I used to watch TV and stuff a lot. I don't really watch too much TV now, but I had cable and all that. I don't even have cable now because there's nothing really on there, and the bills are way too high. But anyway, so figure out, okay, what I want to eat. Well, first it's about a 45-minute drive, so I need something to get me from. I need some food to hold me over from work till I get to my neighborhood where I live. So, okay, there's a few fast food places around. Where do you want to stop? Okay, we have a Burger King, a McDonald's, a Wendy's. All right, let's stop at the Burger King is the closest one to the job. Okay, leave work, get in the car, turn to Burger King, get a double cheeseburger and medium fries. Eat that, and I'll go 3 or 4 stoplights, or maybe about five stoplights, and get to the next main intersection. I'm like, wow, that was good. I ate my cheeseburger, I ate my fries. ball up the bag, throw it in the back of the car, or throw it in. I used to always throw it in the passenger seat next to me, because no one gets in my car but me. So throw the stuff on the floor in the passenger seat, and sooner or later all those bags pile up. And you just put a trash bag by the door, by the bottom of the door, and just scoop all the stuff into the trash bag. But so embarrassing, so just disgusting. So anyway, I would eat the Burger King. Then I would get me a 5 or 6 lights. Then I would stop at the Wendy's that's right there, because I need something else to hold me over, because that burger was so good, man. It was so good. I just need something else to hold me over and something else to eat, because I'm enjoying what's on the radio. Listen to a talk show or something, and I know it's gonna be traffic. And okay, I'll go to Wendy's, and get a chicken sandwich and fries, or get a number whatever with the drink and fries or whatever. Take that. Then that'll hold me over so I can get on the highway, get home to my neighborhood. And then I'll go to another McDonald's or another Wendy's, or I'll pick up some Chinese food, or, something. And then go home and eat that. And even I'm telling this story right now, I'm so upset. Like, you're so angry that I have no control over it. And even when I think I have control over it, at some point, I lose control again. And it just like sneaks up on you. It's like, for a month, this past month, I was all in control. Then all of a sudden, the urges come back. It's like the urges leave you for a little while, and you feel good. I felt like walking everywhere. I was walking to the store a couple of times a day because I would forget stuff. I'm like, oh, it's okay. I'll walk back down to the store because I had all this energy. I had all this a drive. Just walking downtown a few miles and walking here and there. And I tell you, that food is just to me, it is like a drug, It is. So that's what I would do. I would, leave work, and I would have to have I would have to have a meal to get me to my next meal, something to carry me over. And in the morning, I'd get in my car, drive to work, and then there was a breakfast place near my job, get some food from there. And sometimes I would get, oh my gosh, man. Sometimes I would get a breakfast platter, which comes with the potatoes, the eggs, the sausage, and the toast. I would get that to eat in the office, but I will also sometimes order a sandwich, sausage, egg, and cheese, bacon, egg, and cheese, scrambled egg, and cheese, so one of those sandwiches that I would eat when I got back in the car just to drive into the parking lot of my job, which is right across the street, basically. You go up to a light turn, go to another light and turn, and come in the driveway there. And that was for me to eat it. And it was so hot, because the guy was just making it right there. I would pick it up. As soon as I get in my car, I would put the platter, to the side on the passenger seat, open up the foil of the sandwich that I bought, and just eat the sandwich, because I need that to hold me over. It would burn my mouth. I would spill it all over my clothes. I mean, there's been times where I've driven to work, and on my way to work, I stopped off, and I'll get a breakfast sandwich at Dunkin' Donuts or Burger King or McDonald's if they're open that early. Then I would get that to hold me over until I got closer to my job to get some food. Then I would get some food from there. Then I would eat the sandwiches in the car, right there in front of my job while, waiting, sitting in my car. And I would say, man, wouldn't it be great if I could just take off the rest of the day, call in sick the rest of the day, which I do feel sick already because I just stuffed myself with all this damn food. And I would dream in my head like, oh my God, wouldn't it be great to just eat, like go home now, turn around and go home, Cameron. Because wouldn't it just feel so good to go back in your house, relax, turn on that show that you like to watch on demand, or go rent some DVDs, and go there and just sit, and you can get some more food, and you could just relax. What am I relaxing from? I just ate. I don't do anything. I don't have any kids. I don't have anything else to do. Like, I just go to work. That should be my project. Go to work. There's nothing to relax from. But that's what I would think in my mind. Like, okay, you have to go relax. You have to go get this food. And it's going to be me and you food. And we're going to sit there and we're going to relax. And I'm going to get you so full and so comfortable. And then you're going to fall asleep and you're going to lay there and you're going to feel great. You won't feel good in the morning. And you'll feel crappy the rest of the week. And you'll feel bloated and you'll feel, all the other stuff, because I'm not supposed to have salt, but I'll get all this sausage with salt, the salt in there. Or, cook a pound of bacon, it's like 12, 13, 14 slices of bacon and making 5 or 6 bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches, using up a whole, I think it's like 24 eggs in a carton or something, using all the eggs up, And there's a funny thing I used to do to try to justify, that I'm not eating so bad, is to take, like if I'm going to make eggs, so say I'm home from work on the weekend or something, or, whenever, calling out sick or whatever. And usually I am sick, but that doesn't stop me from eating. So I'll go to the store, get a dozen eggs, get some sausage links and, some cheese or whatever, some bread to make some sandwiches, the sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich or a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. I just don't eat a couple of sausage links. If I'll eat, if they're the big, thick Italian ones, I'll eat 6, 7, 8 of those, and then get a carton of eggs. And then my thing is, okay, I'll make half egg whites and half regular eggs, so I don't get all the cholesterol. But the thing is, I'm already eating like 6 regular eggs and then adding 4 regular egg whites in there. So, it's like crazy thinking I used to do, just crazy. Like, well, if I just have a little bit of, I'll make 4 regular eggs and then, I'll mix in 4 egg whites with it, so it's not so bad. And or sometimes I would just eat all egg whites, a whole dozen of. Oh, I said 24 in the carton. That's funny. It was a dozen eggs. A dozen of eggs. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll just only eat 4 yolks and the rest will be 8 egg whites. And, that'll be good. But then I forget about the 8 pieces of toast that I eat with it because I have to make 4 sandwiches. And I forget about the 6 sausage links, whatever, that I'm putting on the sandwiches. And that'll just be breakfast. This was so many times I've gone to the store, spent $20, $40 on food, and they eat it all before lunchtime, and then looking for, like, wow, where's the rest of my food for dinner? Like, I've eaten everything. Where's the food for dinner? There's nothing left. So, I definitely need to go to that food addicts meeting. I just don't feel like dealing with a sponsor. I don't feel like dealing with people. But what are you going to do? I mean, you have to. I've always learned that whenever you really don't want to do something, that's probably when you should do something. I remember the days when I didn't want to go to work and I end up going and something good comes out of it, or you learn something new that day, or you're in on a meeting that you would have missed, or or when I used to volunteer a lot and I didn't feel like going some days, I said, well, force yourself and go and volunteer. You end up meeting some decent people, having some good conversations, having a good experience that day, or someone just being nice to you somehow. So usually when I don't feel like doing something, usually that means I should do it. Because that means that there's a reason that the force or the nature, like nature is pushing against you not to do it. Or you're pushing against yourself not to do it. There's a reason why. So sometimes you gotta push through that. It's the same thing with eating. When I feel like, oh, I should eat that, the other side of me should push right through that, just push right through that, and not fall victim to the same failures, and the same mistakes that I've done before. So, yeah, it's easy to say these things, especially to myself, and it's easy to tell other people, and it's easy to talk on this microphone and say it, but when it comes down to it, I can't. It's hard for me to take my own advice. I guess when they say those that can't teach, people can be great at something and teach it, but never know how to put it into to take that idea or that theory and put it into practice. So that's I guess I'm gonna have to man up and go to one of those meetings and deal with having a sponsor, and but luckily, it'll be somebody that's dealing with the same issue that I'm dealing with, so that'll be good. Somebody that's just like me, basically. So you can't go wrong there. Somebody's in the same boat as you. They understand what you're going through. They understand the lies that you tell yourself about, I can do it on my own. All I need to do is, count my calories, and, I can do it. And no. Because I always find a way around that. It got so bad sometimes I had to try to get my friend to keep my debit card from me, so I wouldn't buy food after work every day. Spending $20 every day after work, $100 a week, and then not even counting the week, it's probably about $140 a week, or sometimes $200 a week on just takeout, just food. So much money I could have saved by just not eating. Going out to eat if I didn't have a problem. Just cooking at home. It's so cheap to get a $5 pack of chicken and cook it, and you can last a whole week on that. Me, I last one day on it. I made some chicken legs the other day, just like the drumsticks. I think it was like 8 or 6 in a pack, probably 8 in a pack. I ate them all. Ate all 8 drumsticks. So, a normal person probably eat 2 a day, 4 days a week. That could last you, 4 days this week. So this food problem makes you broke, hurts you mentally, physically, hurts you in your relationships when you just want to be alone and just eat, and you don't feel, you feel sick because you've been eating so much, so then you can't go out and be active with other people. It hurts everything, and if you look at those, if you look at those characteristics, and they match up, or are those results of the food problem, they match up to exactly the outcomes that people with drugs and alcohol do. They ruin their families, they ruin their jobs, they ruin their health. That I think that clears it up right there, that it is an addiction. So, I don't know. Guess I'll have to go ahead and go to the. Man, oh man. I just can't believe it's gotten this bad. But it's good to recognize the problem. If you can recognize the problem, then you have a way to figure out the solution, how to solve. Because you can't solve something until you know what the problem is. Before you even know that, you have to recognize that you have a problem, which I think is one of the steps for like Alcoholics Anonymous and stuff. Admitting you are an addict. So if you can admit that, then you can admit, hey, I need to get help with it, because you're powerless to whatever your problem is. Alcohol, drugs, all that stuff. And you think you're functioning, but even myself, I'm not functioning fully. I know I'm not. I'm cruising along at a 70%, energy that I'm putting into this life, really. Maybe 60% energy I'm putting in, maybe less than that. That's why if you listen to the theme song that starts, I go through a list of words, in alphabetical order. For letter I is inertia, and that's just going on and on on a straight line, just kind of floating on, or just cruising on, at the same pace, and until something knocks you off of your axis, or something knocks you off of your path. That's what I need. I need somebody to knock me off of my inertia, just floating along, just cruising along, or just like a marble rolling down a cold steel piece of metal. Just keep going and going and going on that line, until something stops it, till some friction halts it, until something slows it down, or grabs you and stops you and say, hey, you need to be on this path. Come on, let's go this way, and let me help you push you along a little faster. Let me guide you. Let me give you a little power behind your path, behind that cruise control that you're on. You need somebody to pick you up and kind of hurry you along, or kind of recognize that you need to come off of that daydreaming and off of that cruise control and wake up and realize you have a life ahead of you. I mean, you don't get too long on this life. You don't get long at all. So I could say all this stuff right now, and then 5 minutes later, when I hit stop on this recorder, and I go on in my room and do whatever, I can block all this out of my mind somehow, and not even relate what I'm saying right now to this microphone to my own life. Even though I'm talking about my own life, it's like two separate things. It's very, very weird, very weird. But, so I'll say it. I believe that I am a food addict. I do. I believe it. So now that I say that and recognize it, now I gotta find some help. And like I said earlier, I know where to get some help. Foodaddicts.org. And I'm going to have to go there, and I'm going to have to go to a meeting, get a sponsor, and see how long I can stick with all this. Because I know I'm better than this. I know I am. I know I'm better than this. I'm better than the way I'm treating myself right now. And right now, I'm not an example to anyone. I can't tell anybody else how to have self-control when I don't have a drop of it at all. Self-control doesn't come along when you don't have a problem with something. If I go to a bar, I can sit there and just drink a soda and not even bother me. And that's not self-control, because I don't have a desire for alcohol. But food is like a desire, an urge, a drive. I mean, I would sneak and eat food when I was younger, and I mean, it is a problem. It's a serious problem. I used to sneak sandwiches up to my room. I would stick a sandwich down in my pajamas when I was younger. Make a sandwich in the fridge and put it in my pants and sneak it to my room. You hear what I'm saying? So it has to be a problem. It has to. It has to be a problem. So, wow, that just shocked me too. I forgot I used to do that. man. Yeah, I would sneak, like after I already ate dinner, I would go back into the pot and sneak some more food out of it, and always, always. I mean, oh man, I used to leave out of church when I was younger. I would act like I was going to the bathroom, which is in the basement. I would walk down the street to the 7-Eleven, which was like 2 blocks away, and go buy a hot dog and eat the hot dog, and then rush back to church and just act like I was going to the bathroom the whole time. I mean, that's how sick. I mean, now that I talk about it out loud, that is a sickness. And it's not like I didn't have breakfast that morning or anything. No, I would walk past the 7-Eleven on the way to church and see it, and like, oh, look at those hot dogs and those sausages turning in the thing, and oh, it says Big Bite on there. Oh, look at those big rolls they give you. I would dream about, think about it. I'm like, all right, okay. As soon as I go into church, I'm gonna say I'm going to the bathroom, and I'm gonna walk back down here and get my hot dog, to eat, and I would eat it while I was walking back, down the street, just walking down there eating a hot dog, or I would sneak it back in with me and eat it in the bathroom of the church. Now, I mean, that has to be a problem, I think. I mean, I don't know. Oh boy, man, I forgot about all this stuff. Man. Yeah, so at some point you have to get control over it. At some point you have to get control over it. And it's not anything to be sad over or anything to be upset about. You gotta play the hand that you're dealt. The deck isn't rigged. There's no card trick here. And, you gotta thank God. And you gotta thank the people that come up with these programs to help people. I mean, that's what you have to do. There are people out there that said, hey, these people need help. I gotta help somehow, so let me create a program. This worked for me. I mean, man, if it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for mankind, if it wasn't for the kindness of humanity, these people would die from these without solving these problems in their lives. It was alcohol, drugs, sex, marijuana. I mean, well, marijuana is a drug, but you know what I mean. Like they even have an MA, Marijuana's Anonymous. It's Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous. There's a Food Addicts Anonymous, Overeaters Anonymous. I mean, you gotta thank these people that put these programs together and said, hey, I want to start something to help other people because it helped me, or somebody helped me, and hey, we need to go out and help other people. If this program works for me, and I guess I'm speaking now like I am going to go, so I guess I have to go and check it out. If it helps me, then I will have to go out there and help somebody else too. The hard part is the work. The easy part is talking about it now. That's the easiest thing. Just like exercising, it's easy to say, oh yeah, I want to run or I want to walk 2 miles, and yeah, when you get into that first mile and you're walking and you haven't walked in a while, you're like, oh God, I got another mile to go. I remember a few months ago, it was months and months before that time that I even walked, and a few months ago I tried to start walking again, and I was like, man, I couldn't even make it a few blocks to the end of my street. Now I could walk a mile or 2 miles, 4 miles, because you got to start off slow again. It sounds great in your head. oh yeah, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to get back in the gym, I'm going to do all that. But that first, that the hard part is starting it and sticking with it. When you're in the middle of exercising or coming up on a hard project at work, and you hit that wall, if it's a mental wall where you can't figure out how to solve a problem at work, or a physical wall where you don't think that you can push yourself to run an extra mile, a quarter mile, or walk that extra block, that's when the challenges hit you, and that's where you either stay there and fight through it or give up, because it's easy to talk about things now when you're just talking about it, but the real challenge and the real proof that you're able to stick with something and push through and persevere and push through that wall, that mental wall or that physical wall, that makes the person. A person isn't made, people talk in theory. That's theory. You could do that all day in theory. But until, like when people say, until you walked in my shoes, that's what they mean. Have you been in this situation before? Have you had to sneak, food and try to find change together to order food, or, have you had, asked to borrow money from people so you could buy food, scrounging up every last nickel you have to go, buy a little sandwich or, or something from the deli or, from the supermarket, until people can relate with that, or to a drug addict can relate to another drug addict, or alcoholic can relate to another alcoholic, or even a workaholic can relate with someone. It's a lot of things we overdo in our life. A lot of stuff we overdo. And that's the hand you're dealt. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing to feel sad about. I've learned a lot. Everybody has a problem. Everybody. Everybody has a problem. Everybody has a situation that they're dealing with. Everybody has something going on in their life. If it's a bad marriage, if it's drugs, if it's health problems, if it's problems with kids, something. Everybody has something going on. That's why the churches, everything is so packed. Everybody's trying to find a solution to their problem. They're looking for the pastor or God or somebody to say, hey, get me the hell out of my problem. I'm tired of dealing with it. I've been dealing with it too long. Help me. But the thing is, we have to help ourselves. We have to do everything ourselves. There's nobody that's going to do the work for us. Even if you go to a dietitian, and get help with, how to eat right. Okay, now you know how to eat right. Now you got to do it, You got the theory. You got the solution. Now you got to put it into practice. You have to do it. You have to go out there and now do it. There's no easy way around things. There is no shortcut. Nowadays people play these, they play the games on the, like Candy Crush or I don't know, all these other games on the phones or the tablets and everything. And at some point you run out of lives, lives. You run out of points, and you have to wait, a few hours until you get some extra lives, or you wait until you get some, extra points or whatever. And people want to take the shortcut and buy lives. They want to, pay their way through things, and that's a shortcut. The hard work is doing it yourself, and you feel so much better about it, So sometimes I'll challenge myself and say, hey, okay, I'm going to walk 4 miles today. I get into that second mile, that third mile, and I'm going up a hill, and I'm like, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? This is way too far. But I just keep picking my feet up. I just keep just keep lifting your feet up and you'll move. It's not running. It's not that strenuous. Yeah, you're 400 and some pounds, but just keep picking your feet up and you'll get there. And every time I get there, I don't care if it was when I was walking 6 miles downtown or 7 miles to get downtown. Just pick your feet up. Yeah, your feet may be sore. Yeah, your feet, maybe hurting. And that's another thing. When I started walking again, my feet I had blisters and everything, because I don't really have a an arch on my foot. So, you got to kind of get inserts and Dr. Scholl's and all this stuff. And the ball of my foot was just killing me so much. I could not walk on it. I was like, I'll tough through it. I'll walk on the bone if I have to. But that's the thing with men. We'll just like that. That's why so many men, like with health problems and everything, they wait to the last minute because they just think, oh, I'll just tough through it. Like when I was really sick, before, when my kidneys were failing and everything, and I talked about that on an earlier episode. I think episode 2. I was like, oh, I feel sick, but I'll just tough my way through it. I'll just push my way through it. I'll just yeah, I have a terrible headache from the high blood pressure, but I'll just push through it. Yeah, I'm throwing up my food, my breakfast, I'm throwing up 3 times a day. No, I'll just push through it. So you can't do that. Sometimes there's a solution for the problems in our lives. And when my foot was, the ball of my foot was bothering me when I was walking, they had these little round things that you put in your foot. Like these Dr. Scholl's things. You put one in your left shoe and put one in your right shoe, and it solves your problem. It kind of disperses the weight that usually goes onto the ball of your foot when your foot slams down. You're walking and your foot is slamming down and everything. This disperses that weight off of that ball of your foot, and it's like a little cushion, and it works great now. I use it all the time. So now I don't really have an excuse not to walk. Because that could have been my excuse to get out of it. But there's usually, with so much technology and life and everything, there's always a solution. The ball of my foot was bothering me. Okay, there's a solution for that. Find it. You have high blood pressure. Okay, what's the solution? Medicine, eating right, see a doctor. Okay, you have diabetes. Okay, well, stay away from the bad stuff. Take your medicine. Make sure you see a doctor. Stay on top of things. Those are the solutions. But the problem is, I know all those solutions. I know them all way too well. My problem is following those solutions. Following them. And that's where discipline, self-control, loving yourself, all those things come into play. So, I guess that was for me, I guess. Everything I just said, I guess it's just for me. I need to listen. I need to pay attention. I need to understand life and understand that this program, this food addicts thing can help me. And I can get some help out of it somehow. And if that gives me a solution, and that gives you and that gives me a support group, then I have to take that and use that solution to solve my problem, and hopefully that will solve other problems in my life. So I think that's enough for me and my anger today. Just being frustrated. See, but if I was in a better mood and better health wise and everything, then all of that would be solved by being more healthy, and then that'll help you be more spiritually healthy. Then that can help me relate more to life and understand that sometimes you have to do a job that you may not like to get where you want to go, or to get what you want in the future, or to go where you want to go in the future. You have to work through those hard times to get where you want to go. So just like I have to keep lifting my feet up when I'm tired when I'm walking, I have to the same way I do that is the same way I have to get up when my alarm goes off and pick my body up, put those clothes on, and go to work and keep moving and keep going. But having a goal at the end. Understanding the solution during your path to get you to your goal. And that's something I have to come up with. I have to come up with goals. The first goal is to get physically healthy. My goal is to lose 225 pounds. Well, actually, it's a little less now because I lost some weight. So I think it's like 220 now, maybe 218, something like that. I want to get down to 225 pounds. And last time I got weighed, I was like 410, but I think I put on more weight since then. I may be like 415 now or something. I don't know. So I had to lose about approximately 200 pounds. And it's so discouraging when you look. They say, usually, you lose weight fast, pretty quick. And then at some level, at some point, you're going to level off. And then you're going to start to lose a pound or two a week. And I'm thinking, wow, so it's going to take me over 2 years or about 2 years, losing, about 4 years maybe. Because if you think it's 52 weeks in a year, so round that down to 50 weeks a year basically. So losing a pound a week, that's 50 pounds per week for a year. That's 50 pounds in a year you lost, and I'm going to lose 200, so that's 4 years basically. That's a 4-year plan. So that's discouraging sometimes. But I heard Adam Carolla say a good analogy one day. He said, you can, not that anyone should do this, but he was saying somebody can eat a whole car if they wanted to. And the way they would do that is they would grind up the car. They have these big salvage yards that can basically, these scrap metal yards that can basically grind any type of metal into fine powder, basically, And he said if you took a spoonful of that and sprinkled it over your cereal for however long it took you, you could eat a whole car. And that's how you should tackle big things in your life. He was talking about when he tried to do his audiobook. And he was like, oh, God, I got all these hours ahead of me to sit here and read. I think it was about 8 hours. What the joke is that he wanted to do 8 hours, but it came a little bit under 8 hours. And he wished that he would have just talked a little bit longer to meet that 8-hour mark or whatever. But, he had to talk for 8 hours, just like, oh, where am I going to find the time? And where am I going to have to sit here an hour every day or, and then, you just work at it piece by piece. You don't look at if you had to, say you had this huge warehouse, like the biggest building, like a stadium. Say you had to paint a stadium. And you're standing there with your one little roller and all this paint. And you're like, wow, all these walls I have to paint. Well, what do? You just start with that one little wall. You work with that. You move along slowly. Take everything step by step. Next thing you know, you look back, probably 10 years later. I don't know how long it takes to paint a stadium. But, you look back and say, wow, I did that. And, it actually works because I use it when I'm walking, long distance, 4 miles, 6 miles, 7 miles. And I look behind me, or either sometimes I'll walk somewhere and then catch the bus back. And when the bus is driving past everything, I just walk past. I'm like, wow, I did it. I walked past that. Oh man, I remember that spot right there. I was real tired right there, but I just kept pushing myself. oh, and I remember that corner there. My shoe was coming untied and my feet was sore, and I just had to stop for a second. You kind of, it does help you. It encourages you. You need to win little battles to get you to your goal of winning the war. So if the war to me is fighting to be healthy and to losing 200 pounds, that's the war. But the battle is, okay, a pound a week, or the battle is, okay, no carbs today, no potatoes today. Let's try eating some more vegetables today. You want to do 1,800 calories or whatever today. Okay, the next day let's do 1,800 calories. Do that 7 more times in a row. Okay, good. We have 1 week down. Okay, let's try doing that again for 7 more times. For the next week. And then the next thing you know, you got 2 weeks under your belt. Just keep chugging at it like that. And that has worked for me in the past. I just have to stick with it. I have to just keep doing it. I just have to keep, sticking with that. Just taking baby steps, taking a little bit at a time. And you can accomplish anything. So I saw some funny things. I wrote down a couple of things today. I've been trying to keep little notes and things that I notice while I'm riding the train or the bus. See, that's the good thing about riding public transportation, because you get to see what the streets are doing. You get to see the fashion. You get to smell the new perfumes or colognes. You get to see the new sneakers or the new shoes. You get to see some nice suits that people are wearing, for the summer styles. You also get to hear what people are talking about. What's the news that people are talking about for the day. What's the big news story that, everyone's talking about. And that's a good thing about riding public transportation. You got to keep your ear to the streets, see what's going on, see what people are talking about, and you get to see different people, different hairstyles, different, everything, jewelry, all that stuff. But what I noticed today, a guy got on a train. He worked at the local casino, one of our casinos we have in the city here in Philly. And I know, he had his regular security guard uniform. He had a shirt on tuck, just relaxing after work, his bag on and everything. And he gets on the train, and I notice on his sleeve, his right sleeve, has an American flag on there, like sewn on, kind of like the ones the soldiers use, or one you would put on when, in the Boy Scouts or whatever. You put on your right arm, the sleeve of your arm, sewed on. And I was wondering, wow, why would security, why would his uniform, why would that be part of the uniform, the American flag? I don't know. It just kind of made me think, okay, you work at a casino, but why is the American flag, excuse me, part of your uniform? And I even noticed that. See, I think a lot of this started after 9/11, because I think I even noticed police cars and their little side window. They always had that little window on the side. They started putting little tiny American flags on there and stuff, and I always wondered, well, we're here in America. We all know we're here in America. And we know that this is a city cop car. Or we know that this guy works at the security for the casino. And we know it's here in Philadelphia. Philadelphia's part of Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's part of the original 13 colonies, which is part of America, part of the United States. Why do we need a flag on your uniform? I don't understand that. Or like a police car. You're the police for the municipality of Philadelphia, which is in the state of Pennsylvania, which is in, part of the U.S., part of America. Why do we need a flag on your car? Now, I understand people putting flags in the front yards and, kind of, so, I understand that, especially if you served before and you're kind of used to it, raising a flag in the morning, and, it keeps a memorial, it keeps a reminder, of the wars that are going on, and I understand the ribbons. I get all that, but I just don't understand it on a security guard uniform, or on a cop car, a police car. But yeah, so that was just something I saw today that was kind of interesting. I was wondering, like, well, why did they do that? And then another thing happened to me while I was waiting for the train, and a guy walks up to me, said, "Hey man, you got some money that you could spare?" And he didn't look disheveled. He didn't look like a homeless guy. Not that there is a homeless look, but he didn't have that dirty, kind of tethered and worn look. He didn't have that look. It's like, yeah, man, can I get some change? And I was like, okay, I reached in my pocket, and and I was already in my angry mood still at that time, and I was like, and this is what kind of got me out of my angry mood, talking to him later. But I gave him the change, and then I watched him go over to the next person and ask them for some change, and the next person gets some change. I said, hold on, let me see what he needs change for. So I walk over to him, and I'm like, hey, and I can only do this when I'm in a certain mood. Like, I was in one of those moods, like if someone got on the train and wanted to rob it, I would like rush the guy and try to beat him up, or either say, hey, shoot me, or I was in one of those moods, like one of those angry moods. And that seems like the only time I could kind of approach people, or either I'm in an angry mood, or like kind of like a really aggressive mood, or either like a really, really happy mood I can approach people. But so I saw him collecting this money from the one guy, then a lady, and so I said, let me walk over and ask him what he needs money for. So I said, hey man, excuse me, how much money are you looking for? He said, oh man, I just need like, $5 so I can get on the train and get home. So I'm thinking in my head like, okay, I think you want to use it for drugs. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Okay, and I'm still thinking in my head, and I'm like, okay, because I think I could trick him up and say, well, where you going? Thinking that he may not have an answer for it. He didn't think that far ahead. Because in his mind he had the excuse like, okay, if someone asks me what I need money for, I'll tell them food, or I tell them that I need to get home, something like that. So I said, where are you going? Where are you trying to go? And he had to answer quick. He said, I'm trying to go to Wilmington. I was like, oh, okay. Okay, you had an answer. I'm thinking in my head, okay, you had an answer for that, okay. And then when I was getting I don't know what I was going to ask him next, but I was trying to engage him in another question. He's like, but nah, man, thanks for what you did, man, and thanks a lot. And he started to walk away. But I was like, okay, I feel kind of satisfied now, because I kept wondering, like, what does he need money? And he could be lying to me, but it kind of just what he gave me allowed me to go on my way now. I felt like, okay, I didn't get ripped off, even though I probably did get ripped off, because you just give him money, because you might as well just throw money on the ground. I might as well take my 85 cents or whatever I gave him and just throw it on the ground, because I'm not getting anything from it. I mean, I guess it's a good deed or something, but he could be hustling me, he could be lying, which I would think it is. But before I think it's someone honest, I think it's someone lying. But so that's the other thing that happened to me. But after I talked to him, I kind of started to feel better. I got on the train, went home, caught the bus, came here, and started recording. So I guess that's about it. I have some other stuff on the list. I'll save that for tomorrow or whenever I record next. I'll just save that. I have some stuff to talk about next time. Yeah, hopefully, I don't know what kind of interview I want to do, but hopefully we'll get someone on here to interview. I don't know who or about what. I have to look around. It's probably someone that's interesting. So I probably need a laptop if I want to go mobile and take this stuff around. Because so right now I'm using my desktop to record it through. But eventually, if I want to go mobile, I need my laptop, to set up somewhere. To set up all the stuff, But I guess that's that. Okay. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sticking with it this long. If you stuck with it all the way through. And take care. And I will hopefully be doing another one soon. I'm not sure. It's feeling pretty good doing these. So hopefully I'll keep, sticking with it. We will see. We will see. So, all right. Have a good day. Good night. Because it depends when you're listening to this. The night, the day, while you're walking, while you're driving in the car, whatever you're doing. Be safe. Take care. Bye.